I'm gonna have you in the background just messing around. How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring you along with me to show you how to make your Instagram photos pop using the 3-in-1 photo layout method. So let's jump right into it. So what makes this a better method than just simply posting one single photo? So in my opinion, this makes your photos look a little more cinematic and more eye-catching to the viewer. So it will help you out with getting more people to see your photos and engage with your content. The cool thing about it is what you can do is do a photo layout with a 3-in-1 and also add the full photos after them so that people start swiping into it, engaging with your content even more. So the longer that they're at your post, the more engagement it gets, the more it reaches it out to other people in the Explore tab, which gets you more content awareness and more followers, hopefully. I've noticed it from my content that whenever I post these kind of style of photos, my growth of reach and just more of likes, it does better than my regular photos most of the time. So I've noticed that if I sprinkle these around, it gets a little bit more of the engagement going so that I can grow my page a little bit more. Obviously, I'm not a huge account, but any kind of growth that I can get is always welcome. And if this helps me out with my photos, well, might as well post them here and there to keep growing organically. And by all means, not always will be this the method that you want to use, but it's always good to consider it, to kind of put it here and there to just make some of your photos pop even more and have a little bit of a cinematic kind of style layout. So now, what photos do you want to include in your 3-in-1 photo layout post? So the first one is, make sure you have an up close and personal photo of your subject. That way it kind of gives a little bit of a blur background, which adds the cinematic style of photos. The next one is kind of just something about your location, making sure that you have a photo that establishes where you're at. And lastly, one up close detail photo of something that you want to highlight in the photo as well. That's not just your subject, it could be something on their clothing, or it could be just anything that you find intriguing that you want to make sure the audience catches onto. So we're gonna go off and take our photos now and then show you what kind of style of photos I want to take for this method, and then we're gonna show you how to put them all together so that you can post them onto your social media. After feeding the ducks a little bit, we went off and started taking the photos. So I wanted to take this little portrait of her. First I tried it without her looking at me, but then I had her look more at me, and I made sure that the face was showing a little bit more, but the hat was still of the jacket was still the main focus. So then I got that photo of her just looking at me ever so slightly, and it worked out. I tried this out first to have like the scenery there and just to see if I wanted to use that only, but I felt like I wanted to keep the theme of the jacket going without all 3 photos. So then I decided to just kind of make sure that I got the photo of the jacket and the emblem of it, because that's something that I wanted to center around the photo set. So I took that right here, and then I moved the camera back so I could show you me taking this whole scenery of style of photo to put it all in the photo set together. Alright, now that we have all our photos taken, I'm going to show you the 2 methods that you can use to stack these photos and do the 3-in-1 photo layout so that you can post them on your Instagram and make your photos pop even more. Now that we're here in Photoshop, I created my little basically canvas right here, which I did 1080 by 1080 if you wanted to know the exact measurements. As long as you kind of keep it squared, it doesn't really matter. I already imported the photos over here, but before I show you them, we're gonna go to View, New Guide Layout, and then you can customize however you want to. Usually, right now I don't want columns, I want rows. I want 3 of them, and nice and spaced out. I don't want the margins to be that intense, so I'm just gonna go with 10. I think should be more than enough, and hit OK. So now we're gonna bring in our photos to see which ones we want to use for each setting. So I like actually this one already how it looks there. I might just move it up a little bit more, right about there. It's all gonna be pieced together, so don't worry, I'll try to speed it through as much as I can. So we'll just turn that off for now. So this one is the detail photo that I wanted to use, so I'm gonna bring that down here and erase that. I was planning to use this one, but I think this one will make more sense to me. We're also gonna be kind of making this one a little bit bigger to crop that out of the side, and then just move it off, and then I'll crop the rest whenever needed. That's not the biggest issue, but let's close that off and then get rid of this one. So this is the photo that I wanted to use for like an up close kind of personal photo with this. I'm still gonna crop it in or zoom it in a bit more just to add a little bit of the dimensions right there. Perfect. And then yeah, this was another one. But all right, so now that we have our photos that we're going to be using, this is how I go about it. So we're with this one that we're trying to do. I usually use the marquee tool and then just kind of select this right there, and then do Control-Shift-I to basically select the rest, and then I'll just do a mask so that it masks that out. And then I can just do the same thing over here, grab my brush tool, make sure it's set to black, and then just start erasing the rest that we don't need, just so that, well, in case we want to bring back and layer it out accordingly, we can. So we'll deselect that. You don't even have to do anything with the top one right now. Another thing that you'll start doing is I'll create another layer on top where we're going to fill up these little spots with white. So we're just gonna zoom in and bring it there, and I'm gonna use the fill bucket tool. So press G, and then I'm gonna set my color to white and then set it up right there. Same thing, go back to the marquee tool and white. There you go, deselect. So now we have our photos that we wanted to use. So now you can export this and send it off to Instagram and be good to go. Okay, so we're gonna open up the layout app that I have, that I downloaded for free on the App Store. So we're gonna open it up, and then basically you're just gonna pick the 3 photos that you were gonna use. So in this order, this is how we had it when we did it in Photoshop. So I'm gonna add the borders right here, so you can kind of just center it however you want to. This one we need to move up just a little bit and kind of get it right there. This one we try to get rid of that, and that's pretty close to what we had before. That's basically just the same thing. So now I'm just gonna save it, and here's the final result. And there you go. Those are the 2 methods that you can use when wanting to do the 3-in-1 photo layout method. You can either do the free app with the layout app that you can get, or you can do it in Photoshop if you want to do it with that. Either way is fine. Honestly, it's all going to be compressed in social media, so it doesn't really matter to think that so much the quality, but it's something really cool to be able to use and add a little bit of different spice to your photos to make them pop even more for your Instagram and keep growing organically. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.